Welcome to the Worldies. I'm A, your host, and this is the reading for May 2025. Today is May the 15th, and I wanted to do this reading in the middle of the month because I've been noticing that my readings sometimes speak about more than just a month. Like, for example, in the April reading, things that I said that were going to happen within those months actually happened a little bit later, like literally almost a month later. And so I don't know, I've been noticing those things about my readings, and I think maybe I should start naming them not monthly readings, but just like a reading that I do this month, not something about what's gonna happen this month. So I think I'm gonna change that about my podcast because I've been noticing, I don't know if you've noticed that, but yeah, for example, about the Pope, the thing that I said I think it was in February or March, I don't quite remember, but I said something about that, and it actually happened like later. So I'm not gonna start saying what's happening this month. Instead, I'm gonna say this is the reading that I'm doing today, May 15, and it's gonna be especially a reading that I do today. It's not about something that is actually going to strictly happen this month. It could be happening in probably a month after this. I don't know. I've been watching those readings from the past that I made, and there's some things that happen after, not in the month, obviously, that I'm making the reading. So yeah, that tends to happen with my dreams as well. So welcome to the podcast again. I'm your host. I want to thank all my clients, all the clients that I've had so far. I surprisingly, and maybe not so surprisingly, I haven't had so many clients from all around the world because I think thanks to the scammers out there, people are not very trusting of people in the internet, I guess. But for my personal readings that I have with my clients here in Vallenar, Chile, thank you very much. You make my life so great and happy because doing tarot and astrology and numerology is something that really makes my life become purposeful. I cannot believe how much time I spent reading about astrology and numerology in the previous years, and that I was going to do this eventually. Something that I always say my clients, I always tell to my clients that before I was like doing tarot readings here in the city, I only did readings for myself, and mainly for myself. And when I was curious about something, I would do a reading. And when I started doing readings for other people, it was just so shocking, because I never thought that I was supposed to do those things. Well, if there is something that tarot has shown me, is that life can happen, life can change. You can change. You can do one thing 1 year, and then the other thing you can do other stuff, and sometimes you think the plans that you have are the ones supposed to happen, and the universe and God says, well, no, I have another path for you, and there's a lot of people that needs to hear your voice. There's a lot of people to needs your perspective in their lives, and that's incredible, incredibly humbling in my case. So let's go with the reading. So in the first part, we're gonna see what happened in the previous 15 days. Now we're gonna do a past reading about the first part of the month, as this is like literally the middle of the month, we're gonna see what happened in the previous months, especially in the collective spiritual health. Okay, we're gonna start with that. What happened in the last 15 days in the collective spiritual health? Please, Spirit, tell me. What happened? What is something that's very important that happened in the previous 15 days? Okay, a lot of people has been trying to do a lot of things at the same time. A lot of things at the same time. This is also in regards to relationships. Yeah, okay, relationships, like mixing relationships, house shows, errands that you have to do outside, your dreams, your wishes, your passions, your desires, even your dreams, your health, literally your health. This sounds like so obvious, you know, like a lot of people have just to mix their attention into all those things. And I swapped the energy right here. So like people, they try to appear to the world like doing a lot of stuff at the same time is okay. You know, they just in the flow with things, but in reality, the energy that they have is much more. This is incredibly interesting because I'm using the Osho Tarot right now. And I have a water card on the top, and then I have a major arcana on the bottom. With the lovers, but then I have in the energy, the literal energy is the 7 of fires, which is stress. Is like what card in the tarot? It's like people is actually trying to do a lot of things at the same time, and they're also convincing themselves that they're on the flow of things. So this speaks about how the collective human consciousness believes that stress is something that's normal, or that having to do a lot of things at the same time is normal. Actually, I feel like I agree with that. That's incredible. It's incredible because I think in this case, that card, the stress card, is about not doing those things. You know, not doing a lot of things at the same time and not believing that you really are doing the best thing, but trying to do so many things at the same time. I don't know, it's just... But the energy that I see in the other cards, on the top and the bottom, they make me feel that somehow this is like normalized. Like something very normalized. Okay, what else? So that's in the first part of the 15 days. Literally, that's the only thing. What about in the middle of the month? Let me see. So in the past 15 days, a lot of people have been focusing on balancing stuff. Yeah. Yeah, what? I hear like, yeah, what? Yeah, because this is so like general, like nothing very special about that. Like we all know that society is very stressful, and we normalize stress. Tell me more about this stress card that happened in the past. I'm not gonna move on yet. Tell me something about this stress card. What is that about? Okay, so there's it's about like working hard and then then celebrating, for example. And there is a lot of people as well that had a lot of problems with water, like water, flooding, like, things of nature or emotions that overwhelm them and that are related to society or their community, like social interaction specifically. And what about these lovers? Okay, so these lovers is like their society tells us that there is just things that we have to do and what's normal and what's not. So it's totally about what we have as a status quo in society. And what about this water card, the low card that we have here? Oh yeah, is the 10, the major arcana in the Osho Tarot. That's like the Wheel of Fortune. Change. So is in the past 15 days, people have been focusing on a lot of, I see in regards to external factors like natural disasters and things like that. I see that a lot of there has been like fires, certain people that's going through fires, others like tornadoes or strong winds, rains. Other people here in the southern hemisphere are actually also experiencing rains because of the early winter or autumn. Then Bone is screaming. Bone. Do you listen to his Bone? I guess you listen to my voice. Okay, so a lot of people have been dealing with rain, as I said, with wind, animals as well. Animals in the past 15 days. Not in the natural sphere, but in our human collective life, there's like this sense of having to. So that was Bone. Oh my god, I just say that dealing with animals, and I rescued this little guy that's outside. I guess he's like a Labrador, and now it's big, and I'm trying to get him in adoption. Like, I need somebody to adopt that guy. He's like 6 months right now, and so cute. But at the same time, he was digging in the backyard right now. So, I don't know, like, this has been a little bit stressful with this guy, especially because he's so big. Like, he has 6 months, but he's, a Labrador, so he's kind of big. And he just digs and bites stuff, so I cannot leave anything outside. Oh well. So other people have been dealing with animals as well, like other animals. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think so. Well, let's continue. So in summary, what happened in the previous past 15 days is some people have been dealing with a lot of natural things in regards to water, air, and not so much about earth actually, but yes, about smoke. It could be smoke like fires, things that happen in the skies as well, especially at night or at dawn or sunset. And in regards to health, there's a lot of people that was really clouded by their judgment or their psychological programming, and those that in the most extreme sphere of the spectrum are having a really tough time because they were taught that having a lot of things or being stressed is part of what you're supposed to do. Others are trying to celebrate, but at the same time there is like external factors that won't let them celebrate. And there has been a lot of changes in the world, like changes, big changes, like we saw with the Pope, for example, like big changes in the spiritual realms, and new starts, obviously, like something went away and now we have something new. So moving ahead, let's see what's happening from now on, like from today, May 15, to the future in the spiritual side of our human collective. And comparison, the card of a comparison. So a lot of people is gonna be facing these, the collective mind is gonna be very fixated in comparing things from the past and from the future, and also comparing two different things. Like people is going to be very fixated in comparing their preferences and other people's preferences, how they perceive certain situations and how they perceive other situations, especially in a bad or good, in a weak or strong, in a high or low, good or bad, little or too much, those kind of things. Comparison. And this is something with past lives, another major arcana that I see here. The next part of the month apparently is gonna be related in the spiritual realms of our society to work, like generational work. Some people won't even notice that we're doing some generational work, but what I see here is that in order for new things to get born in this part, like the most close future from now on, I'm not gonna say like this month, because I've noticed that my readings are not only about this month. So from now on, for a little while, for a little while, especially until the next air sign, for example. What else? So people is gonna be having this experience of judging things and comparing themselves and comparing things to each other, and also comparing the past with the present, the future, and how things were in the past, how things are now. So I think this from now on in the close future, generations are gonna be like a little bit of a clash, not a clash like literal fight, but I think people is gonna be speaking about how things were in the past, the generations. So the Gen Z, the millennials, the baby boomers, the X and the boomers, maybe a lot of people is gonna be speaking about how things were done in the past, how tough they were in the past, and how weak we are now, how wicked we are now, and how amazingly incredible people were in the past, how things were so good in the past and how things are so bad now, and how things were so bad in the past and how things are so good now. That kind of energy. Tell me more about this card, this comparison card. Okay, so a lot of people, not a lot of people, but let's change the way that I'm speaking. So this comparison is rooted a lot of times in pain. That's what I'm saying. So when people will be experiencing pain because, for example, changes like what we had in past, these changes, this stress, these even natural disasters or simple and major changes, both in their lives and in the collective, are gonna clash with their expectations, the tradition, their past lives, even their past lives, what they lived in the past, in this life and lifetimes, what their families lived in the past for generations, and what they expect to live for generations to come. So I think a lot of people that's healing generational trauma are going to be involved from this time on. I'm not going to say just May, but from now on are going to be, for a little while at least, involved in this in this experience that I'm speaking about. And especially it could be old people and very young people, like very young people and very old people, those that are showing the most pain, you could say. That's what I can see. And this is also gonna be appearing very slowly, not so fast. It's gonna be appearing very slowly. What is this? And that's gonna trigger that's gonna trigger an awakening of a very mundane thing, a very mechanical thing that we do as humans, which is the judgment and comparison of others' experiences of things, like two things, and saying that something is good, something is bad, things like that. Having like a black and white way of thinking. So what else? Is this thing gonna solve? Is because I see that this is about pain in the future, in the closest future, from now on, from May 15. Again, I say that it's gonna probably end, or look, it's gonna start to be noticeable in the next, like from now on to the next air sign coming, and probably it's gonna be ending or really recognizable by the month that ends the air season. Like probably it could be on like the next air season. Well, it could be like by October, So how's it gonna happen after people realize all these generational things. You know, it's interesting that I think that when this difficult experience that we're gonna have is ending, there is probably something good that's gonna come, and it's gonna come some resting, like a resting of emotions or peaceful mindset, consciousness. Yeah, it's not something bad. Okay, so that was the first part of the reading. Now let's move to the next part. Let's go with something less spiritual but more mundane, like what we do every day in our lives. What do you have to say, Spirit, about the past 15 days or the past? Justice in reverse. Well, like, a lot of judges. Yeah, actually, that's what happened. You know, in the United States, a lot of judges have been like taking so harsh decisions and trying to block things from happening. So yeah, a lot of abuse of power in the legal areas of our society. And this thing actually is obviously coming to an end. And it is true that a lot of people recognize what happened with these judges, especially judges, lawyers, attorneys, all the low branch of our society. Yeah, I think a lot of people is recognizing the power of them, you know, like how much they can actually do. So a lot of legal abuse of power in the past. What's going to happen in the future with this abuse of power that we see in the past? I think they're going to learn how to collaborate, or they're going to be, they thought, So what I see here is that with the 3 of Pentacles, then the 6 of like the lovers again, and again with the lovers in the other reading, the lovers, the 3 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, sorry, and the 7 of Cups. Okay, so in this part, in the closest past from now, a lot of people has been using the legal powers for their advantage, and a lot of people is angry because of that. They recognize that, they kind of backed off, or they're gonna be like they're gonna make them back off from that kind of abuse by literally the other judges. So this is like a judge fight for real in the past, like judge fight, you know, like this judge is bad and the other one was good, and they're gonna be fighting each other to see what abused their power the most. But well, especially because we have the 3 of Pentacles. And clarifying the justice, I think it's obvious that they're gonna be they have been thinking, and they had an awakening, or they will have an awakening. I think they have that they cannot just do things like they used to do. They have to cooperate. They have to brainstorm of how to solve things without using like extreme legal measures and blockages. So I think a lot of people in the previous the closest past had to deal with a lot of things that require fairness, justice, collaboration, being truthful, wise, thinking about many possibilities and taking decisions with a clear mind, collaborating with your partner, with colleagues, and yeah, so and for the bad side of the closest past, it will be the complete opposite. Like these people, some people don't want to collaborate, don't they're using probably legal matters, to control things, and being dishonest, in taking decisions from a very self-righteous mindset. What's gonna happen, or yeah, what's gonna happen from now on? Let me see. Will things get better? Will things get better from now on? About this thing? What's gonna happen from now on? Yeah, I have the 6 of Wands and the 2 of Cups. So I could say that yes. Oh wow, like loving energy, dude. Oh my god, I have like the 6 of Wands, then I have the 10 of Cups, the 2 of Cups, and the Emperor. Wow, like there is a big potential that a lot of things are gonna be going well from now on, like in the closest future. Is May. Incredible, dude. And what's all about this? It's like one big important, and I really hope this, especially because we saw in the previous part of the reading, like a lot of people is actually going to integrate their pain, is gonna recognize and integrate themselves. They're gonna recognize their power. They're gonna celebrate the community, the family that they have around them. They're gonna be taking decisions to structure their lives better and to cooperate better. Okay, something else, guys. Tell me what else is gonna happen in the closest future. Oh, we have 2 cards again. Oh wow. This is the 7 of Swords in reverse, like literally in reverse. So dude, I said something that was very positive, but I think there is a possibility that somebody is gonna be completely whacked from now on, and we're gonna see, like, recognize it, how deceitful these people is gonna be acting at work, dude. Like working towards, some challenging, deceitful planets, and that's something very reckless with the Fool, and supposed to be, it actually makes them feel like in their power, not in the power, but satisfied, like probably like satisfaction through unconventional, unorthodox, tricky actions in collaborations or work. Oh no, that's not good. But if we take out the reverse, I think also a lot of people will be very strategic. They're going to be taking very strategic decisions in regards to their work, how they're going to act, and they're going to have to just have a leap of faith in regards to their work. Maybe something is not going so well in the work sphere, and they're going to be very they're going to just have to make things happen. with using all their mindset, all their brains, or the brain cells to do so, so they can be stable or satisfied. Okay, so what about this? I want to clarify the Seven of Swords. What about this Seven of Swords? What about this Seven of Swords? Ooh. The Queen of Swords. Yeah, so it's like being clear about what has to be done, and has to be done right now. And it could be in regards to how you have to work with people, like how you have to behave with people, and the actions that you have to take, the opportunities that you have to take, and the way that you have to speak at the same time. So it won't be so bad if we do it in such manner, but if people, the people that's gonna use this energy in the wrong side, it will be really being cold, taking bold actions, and delivering false feelings, false promises, like with the Knight of Cups, like false promises, things like that in the job sphere. And the Queen of Swords, that sounds like a country to me. Okay, let me see some other things. Let me see something about war, Now that we are starting to end the reading, is war... Let me see a yes or no questions, okay? Is war between Gaza and Israel going to end this month? Is the war between Gaza and Israel end this month? Literal... Dude, I have a lot of yeses, but like consciously, me myself, I don't believe it. I don't think it's gonna end. I have a lot of yeses, but it won't be without change. There's like a lot of change. This one, long-term vision, patience, celebration. The Sun, the Three of Cups, Judgment, and the Seven of Pentacles. Instead of ending, I think it's gonna be transforming into a more... I really don't believe that really don't believe that it's gonna end, personally. But what the cards say is there's gonna be a change with the Judgment. It's gonna be like a real change in a rebirth, awakening, a renewal of some kind. But in regards to the war in Gaza, I think it could be like ending for a little bit and then starting again, or that the world or Israel is gonna start to unravel a plan on how things will change in Gaza, and probably they're gonna be spending money or putting money into this. So it will be like a long-term plan of how they could live together, and this will be very positive and very successful. But I don't know, I think like I'm speaking only for the Israeli people. I don't know, I have a little bit of unfaithful energy in regards to the war in Gaza. So let me see, is the war... Is the war in Ukraine going to end this month? The war in Ukraine going to end this month? No. Maybe, I think this month and from now on in the closest future, it's obvious that they want to talk, or there's more sense with the King of Swords, a sense of people wanting more clarity and more like peace. They want to speak at least, and they're gonna be like, we want to speak, and at the same time, no, like we hate each other. We want to speak and we hate each other. That's what I see with the devil card. We have the Two of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So I think it probably won't end easily, and I don't think it's gonna end. I think it's probably be a start of communication or exchange of hate at the same time, like hateful words. Like they haven't spoken each other for such a long time at a diplomatic level, they probably start doing so, but it's not going to be so smooth. It's going to be still connected to the devil energy, which is raw human emotions, and with the King of Swords. So I think they're going to be like, if they don't swear at each other, if they don't mistreat themselves in the public, they're going to be definitely saying bad words towards each other when they're in their houses or in closed doors. They're definitely going to be hating each other, for at least for now. That's what I see. Now, what else? Is there something important that you want to say about the global? The financial markets will probably look sort of stable, not big changes is what I see. Really? Not big changes? Yeah, so a lot of people are going to say that the financial markets are quite stable, resilient, and they're going to have confidence, and the financial markets are going to be growing, after all these challenges. That's literally what I see people saying. And yeah, a lot of balance in the financial spheres, and also in regards to the regulations, the law in finance, all the rates, all those rates, I think people is gonna be more confident about their decisions. Will the tariff war affect, what will the tariff war, okay, cycle, Wheel of Fortune. This tariff, I think, is gonna be the tariff war. I don't know if it is a war. Why is everything a war? Something that I don't like about this narrative in the worldwide news, everything is a war. Tariffs, a war of tariffs. It's like, can you just, everything is a war. I think it's gonna be fluctuating. Some people are gonna notice that they're biting their asses with the tariffs. Others are gonna be noticing that they're winning a lot of money, so they're gonna be very confident on that. Yeah. What about too? I want to see something about the environment. Lastly, from the environment, are we gonna have like a big environment event that will affect us soon in the close future. Like a big, it could be because of fire. Like fire, especially in places now that we're starting summer on the northern hemisphere, could be in places where people plant trees, a lot of trees planted. I don't know, it could be something like that. Like fires there. Or in the good side, it could be that a lot of people will be successful reforesting areas. Reforesting areas, but I see that it could be also something regarding to fire. What about this fire card with the Knight of Wands? It's going to happen in a place that's very green, very, very green. It could be in the Amazon. Is it in the Amazon for real? But it's in the Amazon, which is not in the Amazon, like Asia. Yeah, if it's not in the Amazon, it could be like Asia. It could be in parts close to the ocean or to lakes. Ocean lakes is like Canada, ocean. It could be like Middle East. No, not Middle East. Like East Asia. Those places close to not rivers, like close to oceans, lakes. It could be the United States, and it's the green areas. The United States with a lot of forest. It's like a forest, like forest fire, something like that. I don't think, I think a lot of, I don't like to say this, but probably, I'm gonna say this just to see what happens, what happens because of this, but I think the most difficult thing that we're gonna face in regards to the weather in the next 15 days and a little bit after this reading is gonna be a fire, like a big fire, and it could be affecting an area that is close to some big watery area, in green area. So it could be close to oceans, lakes, not rivers so much, but it could be, but especially oceans and lakes, in green places, and really green places, and in places that people have been reforesting a lot, and those trees are kind of big right now, and that's what I think it could happen. Let me see. Wait, this one. And in the worst thing that could happen is that there are some arsons. I think that's the word. And some bad people is trying to, get something on another one. But if not, it could happen. Yeah, dude, it could actually happen. Yeah, I literally saw that almost like, remember last year when there was big fires in LA, and the whole sky was like dark and things like that. I think this could happen similarly, and I don't know if it is because of financial stuff, like people wanting to get some um, kickback because of the fire, with the securities. Mm. Well, yeah, that's probably why what happened. I don't want to look into more of that. Let me see some last things that we need to know about the world right now. Like about the world, something that's gonna happen in the news, we're gonna be able to see in the news, some big thing that we're gonna be able to see in the news. Oh, I took it reverse. Okay, so a lot of things in regards to agricultural land and stock, like livestock, also birds, livestock and birds, all that because of agricultural land, decisions that leaders take in regards to people that is dealing with those animals. Yeah, literally, I think it's gonna be a problem with agricultural land between farmers and heads of state or people in power. What else we could see in the close future in the news, in the big news, some big news. I wanna see some big news. This one. Okay, this is like random, this is like an entertainment. In the entertainment section of our podcast, there will be incredible developings happen between a very known couple in Hollywood. Something like that. Like some couple is gonna have some tea for us in the entertainment spheres. Yeah, they're gonna be speaking. It'll probably be related to Diddy or to other famous people and their lovers, like things related to passion, to sex even, and also separations between famous people. That's what I said. That's some things that we're gonna see in the news. And then I have another one. Like literal someone like leaving other people and their families, like messing with their relationship. Like for example, some big influencer, it came to my mind, like influencer or a celebrity that has a couple, like they separate or one leaves another, and it could be also related to their family not wanting them to be together. And others as well is literal, like some people leaving or separating each other. That's some news. What else like in this part of the reading, it looks like the most tea gossipy. Other headlight. what about the technology? Give me some headlight about technology. Well, again, oh yeah, some headlight about technology again. And okay, so in the tech environment, we're gonna see how technology and social networks are affecting society, and there is a lot of people there in the social networks we're gonna see. Then literal something as well, like scams, and like for example, when you have a problem in social networks and then no one in the actual network will help you at all, something like that. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna be in regards to literal. Is literal. Something else as well is I don't know. I don't want to say this. Probably, I expect this not to happen, but it could happen that someone is like strapped, it's like, okay, like some big company could get sued. Some big company could get sued because of, like literal crimes that are being committed by people in social network, in related to even homicide, like for real, like even to homicide. And also abuse, like homicide, abuse, and it could be involving people from different parts of the world. What I was thinking about this as well was it could be some strange thing happened in the space, like other astronauts being trapped in space. That's also what I saw. Okay. So I think I'm ready to end this reading. I think I'm ready to end this reading. Oh, okay. Another new that we're gonna see, or something that we're gonna see, is people that take care of other ones, like people that provide services, are gonna be very angry. That's what I say. Like people that provide services, and it could be health services, nurturing, all services, like people that public service, all people that work in services, they could be angry at each other, and at the same time they could be like doing protests or demonstrations, things like that, saying that they're very angry because of the way they treat them, like people or society treat them. So it could be like some service outage, like like when people in the airports and they don't want to work anymore because they're on a protest. Something like that. Okay, so that was all. I think this podcast is going to be it's going to be very long. So thank you so much for listening to this reading. If you got here to the end of this podcast, thank you very much. Remember, if you want to have a personal reading with me, you can do so going to l11n.com/theworldis. The links are in the description, and you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X. Soon I will be on Blue Sky. Yeah, Blue Sky as well. So that was the reading for May 15. From May 15, it will be like the May reading. But as I said, my readings tend to speak, especially when it's something in the future. They're not only about this month. That's what I've noticed. So thank you very much for listening, and see you on our next episode.